Imagine you're an alien researcher looking down at Earth for the very first time. If you wanted to predict where human civilizations would thrive, you might start by looking at this blank topographical map of North America. There's a school of history built on this premise called environmental determinism. The theory argues that the physical land is the primary force shaping human history. The theory suggests a predictable pattern. If you place humans in a temperate valley with reliable rain and rich soil, they will eventually build a dense agricultural settlement. Give them enough time, and they'll develop advanced technology simply because the environment permits it. But if the terrain dictates the outcome, are we really the architects of our own civilization, or are human beings merely passengers, their destinies written by the dirt they stand on? Look at the East. It's a massive engine for growth. Flat terrain and high rainfall make the soil incredibly fertile. This water creates a vast network of rivers, funneling into the central Mississippi artery, acting as a massive magnet for early humans. These rivers also provided a logistical advantage. Before the modern road, water travel was up to 50 times more efficient than moving goods over land. If you wanted to trade or travel, you lived on a river. Beyond transport, rivers offered mechanical energy. By harnessing the physical flow of the water, early industry could grind wheat or power looms. Even the mountains played a role. For years, the Appalachians functioned as a physical bottle, trapping early expansion along the coast until humans finally carved paths through the rock. In this view, the East was a geographical prize, a region optimized by its flatlands and waterways for rapid trade and expansion. Move west and south into Mexico, and the flat plains disappear. They are replaced by jagged mountain ranges that made travel incredibly difficult. These mountains, however, offer a different wealth. Tectonic activity pushes precious metals like gold and silver up to the surface. The discovery of these surface metals forced a different historical path. These regions shifted into a narrow, extraction-based economy, moving massive amounts of labor to mines rather than diversifying into agriculture. The underlying geology dictated two different trajectories. The East grew crops, while the West mined vaults. Climate lines created a final divide. Freezing northern temperatures halt the long growing cycles required for many profitable crops, effectively limiting what can be grown in the north. In the south, however, the lack of a freeze allowed for the cultivation of long-cycle plants like tobacco. Geography permitted these crops to reach full maturity, creating an economic advantage based entirely on the weather. Sugarcane follows the same rule. It requires a 2-year freeze-free cycle to produce its high caloric energy. If the temperature drops below freezing just once in those 24 months, the entire crop is ruined. But that heat carried a biological cost. In tropical environments, mosquitoes live long enough to incubate and transmit diseases like malaria, which struggle to survive in the colder north. The climate lottery was a trade-off. It provided the conditions for immense agricultural wealth, but it also introduced a brutal biological tax. If we follow the geographic rules strictly, the fertile East should be the only hub of civilization, and the arid, mountainous Southwest should be a dead zone. Yet history provides a plot twist. Advanced, densely populated civilizations thrived in the hostile Southwest. They built complex, multi-level stone architecture directly into the cliffside. This is the flaw in environmental determinism. Humans can engineer their way out of environmental traps. In the Southwest, indigenous engineers channeled scarce water into irrigation networks, manually altering the landscape to suit their needs. Geography establishes the physical boundaries and the starting conditions of the continent, but it is human ingenuity that ultimately drives the engine of history.